I just want to say how happy I am for Anthony Grant and his team because, it's when everybody wins or when some team wins, everybody wins. But it's really, really cool when somebody does well and their entire coaching staff is awesome and they're easy to work with and great guys. So it's really cool seeing them to what they're doing this year. But we've been practicing hard. We've been outside a long time. It's been colder than heck, windy, rain. Um, Had to use football indoor a couple times, and tomorrow I think we'll be able to stay home and use our indoor facility, and that's like one of the best things that's ever happened to our program. I went through a little bit this morning, and I know you guys got to go see Foster, but it's going to be really, really, a huge thing for us and recruiting and the whole team. And Mal's going to open the doors tomorrow at 1:30 for the team. And we're going to do a MTV Cribs / Trading Spaces reveal, and he's going to say 1, 2, 3, open your eyes, and he's going to see a lot of smiles and yells and screams, and I heard that he likes to see the reaction, so I'm sure they're going to give him a good one.
What's your expression going to be like when you see your start lineup?
I don't know it yet. We're still trying to nail it down, and I'm glad we're going to be able to go outside today, hopefully tomorrow, and it looks pretty good this weekend. But still, like, probably one spot for sure that I'm still undecided on. So, and I'm going to tell them today that that's the case, and maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody will jump up.
What spot's that?
Second base.
Who's it between?
Jackie Branham, Kayla Hunt, and Ryan I. Murray, sophomore and 2 freshmen.
How close is that competition?
It's really close because all of them have played really good defensively, and then offensively, it's kind of been a draw. Scrimmages, almost a draw this whole way. So we'll see.
Yeah, and once you decide who you would start at that position initially, is that a position you would rotate the players?
Yeah, I'm the type that I don't stick with a lineup for 60 games or 50 or whatever, and you'll see that. I think you got 17 ladies on the team. They worked their butt off and they've done what they're supposed to do, and they lift weights and practice, and they're going to get a chance to show what they can do. And we have opportunities this weekend where hopefully we'll be able to do that, and everybody will play, everybody will pitch, and I'll probably mix and match some lineups around, and we have very few midweeks this year for whatever reason, and I won't have that luxury of Mitch will have that Tuesday, Wednesday starter type of thing, but we don't have that this year. So these early tournaments are going to be kind of our midweeks.
What to do with that 500 hitter who was for you?
The 500 hitter is now in left field, and she's adapted very well. She's just a good athlete and never really played outfield, so her faults were to a minimum because she'd never been out there. And Allie's been doing a great job with them, and I think, beyond maybe 2 other years, this could be our fastest outfield we've ever had. You have Bro, Fenton, and Jazz, and then Kima's, as fast or, right there with Bro. So all 4 of them can run.
What do you make of this inaugural tournament?
I think it's going to be awesome. We've been trying to put this together for years, and the South Alabama coach, Becky Clark, emailed me maybe 2 or 3 years ago in the fall of, I think it was 2009, and said, hey, are you going to do this, or what are we doing? And it was kind of the shot in the arm that I needed, and so I emailed all the other Division I schools in the state, and all of them agreed. Couldn't believe it. We did it early enough so their schedule wasn't set yet, and all 9 are going to be there, and I think it's the first in the state for sure. And it's not as cutthroat as some other sports, but it's going to be great. All the high schools in the Birmingham area, they're all going to come. They're not playing yet, so that was a big bonus for us. And it's basically a homecoming for Whitney Larson, who grew up in those fields since she was probably 6. So it's kind of neat that we can do that for her. And then, we play Sanford, which is, going to be weird in itself, facing Steph, Mandy, and Kelly Eubanks, who all played at Alabama. All of them played 4 years for me. So, and then that was the first game on the schedule when Steph got the job at Sanford, and I said, well, do you know who your first game is? She goes, no, I haven't even seen the schedule. I said, well, I know, and she's like, oh man. So it'll be fun. They'll do a great job over there. They're three great young ladies, and fundamentally they're going to be great coaches, and they're just, it's a good school and it's a good spot for them to start.
Last year, you had a disappointing loss to Hawaii in the season. How did that motivate your team in the offseason?
Well, the fall was, for the very first time in our history, which is now it's the 15th anniversary this year, 13 for me, it was the first time ever that all kids ran, which was a first, the fitness test, but then all 17 passed it on the first try. And it usually takes 4 or 5 times at least to get everybody to pass it. And that was a huge bonus because Michelle Diltz, our strength coach, she usually has to take her time, get people in shape. Well, we were 4 weeks into the program when we showed up the first day. And she was the happiest one of them all because she could do things now, in early August that she waits till October. So it was and I think everybody was extremely excited about it because I think the older girls threaten the younger girls if they don't get their butt in gear and get in shape and get going during the summer, that, a couple of them know how hard it was. And there was a lot of texting and phone calling going on in July. And, they passed all 17, which was, I think to me, that's a huge sign that they were motivated.
So you didn't have to
Bring it up?
they did on their own.
Yeah, they get their program from Coach Diltz, and then it's up to them. We really have very little contact with them in the summer, and when they show up and they do that test on the very first day, it's kind of like do or die.
Do you think it's around the horn and second base? What it looks like?
Well, we have 3, I think, strong catchers. Kendall Dawson was our go-to last year, a junior. Olivia Gibson is a junior, and then Jordan Patterson, who most of you in here know her mom and dad. She could be the surprise of the group because number 1, she's competitive as hell. Number 2, she probably works harder than anybody on the team. And number 3, she's a coach's kid. And, she almost says the speech before I do in practice. And she's going to surprise a lot of people because she was recruited by probably anybody. And she's been really hitting the ball well, so I think she's going to be a huge surprise. First base is going to be Cassie Riley-Boscia, a junior, or Amanda Locke, also a junior. And the one who doesn't play probably is going to be the DP. Shortstop, Whitney's kind of solidified the spot. She made some really good plays the past couple of weeks, and she's turned into the leader that we knew she could be off the field too. Third base, Courtney Conley, I think is going to surprise a lot of people. She hit about 285, 290 last year and had 10 home runs as a freshman. And she had a triple and 2 home runs in a scrimmage last weekend. So she's kind of right where we think she's going to be. And then left is Caleb Rowe. Center is probably going to be Fenton. And then Jaslyn Lunsford and right. And Kima could go in any of the 3 spots very easily.
Coach, can you speak about the leadership of some of the leaders on the team and give us some comments on Larson?
Well, I think both Whitney, 2 seniors this year, Whitney Larson and Kelsey Dunn. And the thing about Kelsey that's is just awesome to see. She's probably our most resilient kid we've ever had. She's been through a lot of hard luck, and she's had her share of great victories, but she's had some tough losses. And she's, one of the first practices she said was, look, we have Jackie Traina coming in, one of the best pitchers in the country as a freshman, and if she beats me out, that means we're never going to lose a second game in the SEC series because I'm going to be pitching it. And it was a heck of a way to look at it, and she's right, But right then and there, I think it gave the freshmen that opportunity that says, look, we can compete for a spot. We don't have to just sit back and be the kid sitting in the corner waiting for the upperclassmen to take the spots and then we kind of get the crumbs. They knew right away that it was okay to beat somebody out. And Whitney's just been, she's been awesome. You know, she's emailed a couple of people on campus, asked about their leadership skills. You know, Colonel Lamb, who's a vice president in grounds and facilities, is a 30-year Air Force veteran. She's contacted him about his leadership in the military, and I think that she's gone above and beyond, more than a lot of kids we've ever had, just to really wanting to be that good leader. And it's showing right now because her maturity is much better, and you know, she's playing really well. So she's doing what she's done on the field for 4 years, but off the field, she's much more improved.
You touched on it a little bit. How do you handle the starting pitching?
I think, you know, we talked about it a lot this year, and we're going to try to do like a spring training, maybe college baseball, the first couple of weeks. And, you know, most pitchers in Major League Baseball aren't expected to throw 4, 5, 6 innings the first time out. So we're going to try to go maybe 4 or 5, and then always have somebody in relief. And, you know, once the weather starts to get better, warmer, I think, you know, then we could say, okay, let's see if you can go 7 innings. But, you know, we haven't practiced that long. We started Martin Luther King Day, so it's kind of been a short preseason for us. And cold weather, I think, is tough on the pitchers. So we're gonna, you know, and they all realize that. They're all up for it. They think it's a good idea, and we'll see how it goes.
How about Kelsey's role? Is she still kind of the ace, or is it still?
I think in the scrimmages, like the other day, and Chad, you don't have to write all of this, do you? Okay, don't write all of this, word for word. I mean, she walks the bases loaded, and I was like, oh God, we got Stephanie Van Brakel again. And then she strikes out the side, and I was like, we do have Stephanie Van Brakel all over again. Her freshman year, that happened probably 10 times during the season, and you know, she just throws hard enough. She gets away with it sometimes, but once she starts to really learn how to control it and move it, she's gonna be really good, because she's hit 70, 71 on the gun several times. So she's right there. And then Lauren Sewell also throws very hard and has a couple different pitches than what Jackie does, and Jackie's the complete opposite of Kelsey. So I think that's the key for a good pitching staff. You have the same thing 3 or 4 times, you know, you don't have to prepare for anything.
Coach, it looks like you have about 7 teams that you'll be facing this season that are currently in the top 25. How do you think that will help your team down the stretch?
Well, I think, you know, last year we started off with a World Series opponent. The first weekend was Missouri, and we weren't ready for that. We had 5 new kids. We lost those 5 starters, and I can remember going out to the mound one inning and taking one of the pitchers out, and a lady yells, "It's about time," and you know, at home. And I wanted to turn around and tip my hat and say, yeah, you're right, I should have been out here an inning before, but I didn't. But it was extremely tough on everybody, especially confidence. And I mean, the first 2 months, we lost 4 games at home, and we hadn't lost 4 in 3 years at home. And so, you know, they really matured, and then we went on that huge winning streak. And I think it helped the confidence. And but this year, the schedule starts out a little different because we got the All-Alabama thing, and then we have 5 games there. And then we host Louisville, Syracuse, and UT San Antonio, which 2 of the 3 were in regionals. And then it progressively gets tougher, tougher, tougher. And I think I'd rather have it that way. I know last year we probably wouldn't have done if we hadn't started with Missouri and got our butts kicked the 3rd game. I don't know. I mean, it was a good lesson to learn right off the bat. I think they all realized they had to work a little harder.
Right now, do you expect Brandon to hit?
Yeah. Sewell, her, and Locke, if Locke pitches at all, but all 3 can hit. And, you know, Train has been hitting the ball as hard as anybody. Then I just have to find somebody else that I'm going to hit for.
Coach, Kelsey's had a rough couple of couple of her seasons. Mentally, do you do anything to gauge where she's at?
I think, you know, she's talked about it a lot. She talks about, you know, her and Van have done this. She talks about the Friday the 13th movies and slasher flicks. And the killer is never dead. He always comes back, right? I mean, it's Friday the 13th, part 9. He's never done. And she's trying to instill that into Kelsey. And she actually put up a poster in her locker last year that it was Jason, but it was Kelsey on the poster, and said she's back. And you're right, it's probably the toughest thing I've ever seen, you know. And she's very, very, very resilient. And just, you know, you feel for her, but she's back. So, and she's looking really good.
One more, guys.
So, any updates on any off-season surgeries?
Locke had surgery like early October, 6 weeks of rehab. It's come back really good. Jordan Patterson had some shoulder issues, but she didn't have surgery, just a lot of rehab, and that was it. So for the most part, everybody's pretty healthy. But I would love for you guys to come out too, if maybe sometime you guys can do a walkthrough with us and see our new facility too, because I think if you've been in the old one, you're gonna really like it. But it's we're awfully lucky.